that was when I was posting all the like scared of women jokes.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good contrast. Big muscular dude. You want to work in? Oh my God. Oh, it's just funny. But it was like, all right, no longer Cutler supporter. And the video was like, it was like a 5-plate squat, like for whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's so
Like
that's
Arnold.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I'm walking down from the like at the Arnold, and I forget who it was, but like, they pulled me aside as I'm in the lobby. It's like, you want to come talk to Arnold? Well,
yeah.
just Lee Priest is drinking a coffee next to me. He's sitting down. I'm like, what is going? Everybody I've seen on my phone I've been looking up to this whole time.
I know, but they all come to you, Sam, and they're like, "Hey, Sam, what's going on?" And like, it's just like,
how do you
we've known each other forever, right?
Right. It's but yeah. So half of that, I think, what one thing that kind of really spoils me, and not like spoils, but was just worked from the beginning, is like the growth was very steady. Like it wasn't like I feel not like bad, but a lot of guys they'll hit a size on whatever platform they're trying to reach. Because I mean that the goal is kind of numbers, right? You want it to keep growing, and these guys post the same stuff. Like they're not making the adjustments of like trying to do something new or creative, but they're just posting the same stuff, staying the same size. Maybe they're just physically staying the same size. Like you got to change something, and they don't get the feedback from the work they're putting in, and that could be a little like. I mean, imagine you went to the gym for a year, you look exactly the same. Hey, you put in all this work. It's like, what do you get out of it? But with the socials, like it was always a like there was never, like it never went down. Like it was always just a gradual 5% up this week, 10. There was a big spike last year, like August, December, where the YouTube was where it really like got a wider reach. But it was like every month the YouTube account doubled in size, like 50,000, 40 or 50, like 40,000 to 50,000. That next month was 50 to 100, and then 100 to 200, 200 to 400. And then it was like 1 million before the end of the year or something along those lines. But even from the beginning, it just kind of eased its way up. And then in person, it was the same thing. Like I'd be at school in the grocery store and somebody would say like once, have I seen you posting stuff before? So I've never seen this guy. Or maybe he was in a class I went to. And then the next month, maybe 2 guys said that. And then it was like 3. And then like it just kind of eased its way up from there. So it was never really abrupt. It's like if you got in a hot tub and it was cold at first and you ramped up the temperature slowly, or like the frog in the boiling water, it doesn't notice because it just increases gradually. But it's like every time I look back, I mean, even 2 years ago, like something like this would be absurd. Like I was just telling Mark when we were walking in, or when we were in the hotel, I'm like, this were 6 months ago. My heart be pumping out of my chest right now. I'm like so nervous. But it's, you gradually get used to that sort of stuff. But looking back at how big it's grown, that's when I say, okay, this is really nuts.
Well, it inspires a lot of people, man. And like, that's the one thing I always tell everyone that either competes and gets to a level or like not you're like kind of the new age, content, social media. I'm sure people come up to you and they're like, man, like what you said or what you did, or like, I can relate to you, and it inspires people, and it's not just people that want to bodybuild. It's people with other like lifestyle or goals. And that's the one thing that's crazy about like the people that touch me. I'm like, I say to people all the time, how do you know who I am? Like, well, you're Jay Cutler. I said, okay, well, no, but how did you follow me? Did you have a boyfriend, or like, how do you just find some random bodybuilder? And, it's the craziest. Sometimes people find you in the weirdest places. I was going through a tough time. I'm dealing with more weight loss people now as people have transitioned to I saw one of your thing on nutrition, which, I mean, everyone used to come to me back 20 years ago. They wanted to be huge. That's all. How can I get bigger? How can I get bigger arms? How can I bench press more? I mean, that was kind of the goal. And in the gym, I'm not going to lie, like, as much as being a bodybuilder, like, I know we talk about training, and I wanted to be able to squat the most. I wanted to be able to bench the most. And, unfortunately, I went up against the guy who was the strongest bodybuilder ever, right? Ronnie. So when he sat here on the podcast, and we actually asked him, will you ever see Jay coming? He asked him, when did you see Jay coming on your radar? And he said, I didn't. I was like, damn. I was like, my ego was just busted down, right?
I think I don't believe that though. Because just before that, he was like, he called you after you won a show. hey, you won it when you won the NLC. And it's like, okay, obviously he had to know something is coming.
You know, but it's like we all have these people that we inspire, so that's not something you can prepare for. And, you know, I've had a million people ask me, hey, what about this guy, Sam Sulik? Like, how's he going to do in the competition? I said, dude, I don't even know if he's ever going to compete. You know, I don't know what his end goal is. I mean, as far as I knew, you were a student. You were studying, and maybe I was told, hey, he doesn't want to pursue bodybuilding. So when you come on here, like, there's a lot of things I'm learning today just by a conversation that, like, I think Matt asked you a question. You're probably sitting back like, you know, what do you want to do with this? It's a hard question, right? Because I was the same way. Like, you look at Mr. Olympia, and you're like, man, you look at Samson win, and you try to compare your body to Samson right now, and you're probably thinking, I got a long way to go.
Yeah, right.
That's how I was with Dorian Yates when I was your age. I looked at Dorian Yates and